Hi, my name is Rafael Antonio Mateo Brioso Marcelin Saba. You can call me Chef Mateo. Let me tell you why I'm the right person for this job. I was born and raised in New York, and I'm from a lot of cultures. I speak a lot of languages. I represent a lot of people. I'm the kind of person that gets along with everybody. You invite me to your home, and you need me to speak Swahili, Swahili it is. I love to travel. I've been a lot of places in the world. A good example of that is if I go to Italy. When I go to Italy, you need me to speak Italian and eat manicotti. I speak lasagna and manicotti like anybody else. You want me to go to Japan? Onishmashma. As long as I get the best fish, I'll speak all the Japanese you need. You want me to go to New Orleans? I'll wrestle a gator. I'll do anything for food. I'll stand in front of a bull. In fact, I ran with the bulls in Pamplona once, and I'm pretty sure I heard a conversation going, "Is that Chef Mateo out there? Yeah, he looks bigger in person, I know." And they came out anyway, but I had the best bull's testicles you've ever had in your mouth. I don't know if that came out right, but that's the way it is. I come from New York. Not like some of you guys from Ohio who come here for like 6 months and then you claim that you're from New York. I was born and raised in the Upper West Side. Went to high school in New York, City College in New York, big ups to City College, and you know I'm a Bronx Yankees fan. I'm a chef. I'm about 40 years old. I just turned 40. In fact, I had this blowout party. I can't wait to tell you about it. And I love to cook, and as you can see, I really love to eat. Truth is, if you want to get good at anything, you got to practice. And boy, do I practice eating, and boy, do I practice drinking. I mean, this is what I really spend a lot of my time doing. Checking this one out, checking that out. If someone says, try the champagne, now I want to try 10 of the same kind. If somebody says, what's the best burger in New York? I go and find out. I go to 15 burger places, then I go to my blog, and I post it. I'm very opinionated about it, and I might not know what's the best, but I definitely can recommend to you what's good. So here's the deal. When I was a little kid, there was two things going on in my house. My grandfather, who was taking around with electronics, he was big into, he worked for Ford Motor Company, and he liked to work with electronics. And my grandmother, who was the chef, the matriarch of the family. She's the one that brought the families together to eat. And this is what I did. I had to make a decision. Did I like radios or did I like spaghetti? No brainer, dude. I went over to the spaghetti. I'd be 2 years old, my grandma would be making stuff, I'd get over there, she'd be like, "Where's that meatball?" I'd steal it, and she knew it was me because I had all the sauce on my face, and I still have sauce on my face to this day. Because of my grandmother's Arab roots, she makes a lot of special dishes. There's one dish in particular, it's called kibbeh. If you've never had it before, you don't know what you're doing. In fact, you better email me right now so I can send you the recipe. This kibbeh is so good, but it's really difficult to make. You see, what you gotta do is you gotta have the right finger. Your finger can't be too skinny, because then that kibbeh will crush. You can't be too fat, then you can't fit it in your mouth. It's got to be just right. My grandmother's finger was just right. Bingo, bango, here we are today. If you didn't do that, you wouldn't be talking to me right now. I wouldn't be talking to you. So let's go with the beginning. The beginning is this, oysters. Oysters is the stuff of life. It's Viagra before they made Viagra. And without oysters, there's no reason. There's no reason to keep on going further. Like I said, I just turned 40. Hopefully I don't look like I'm 40, but I threw a big, major blowout party. And this is proof of how much I love food and I love wine. I ate 36 oysters, I rocked out, I drank champagne, grower champagne, the best champagne you could get, and that was just the beginning. For me, I must have champagne. Champagne is the elixir of the gods. It's the ambrosia of life. Without champagne, I just don't know what I would do. You need champagne when you're sad, when you're crying, when you're hurting, you drink a bottle of champagne. When you're happy and you want to celebrate, of course you open a bottle of champagne. And if you don't know what the hell else to do, drink champagne. I mean, I should be a champagne spokesperson. I hope somebody from Champagne is listening to this right now so they can either send me some champagne or get me to fly over there, because nothing is better. And the reason why I talk about wine like this is because I drink a lot of wine, I review a lot of wine, and I have a website called chefmateo.com where you can read about my wine reviews and my wine travels. Just last summer, I was in Spain, and we went to the Ribera Sacra, and we went to these beautiful steep cliffs that 2,000 years old from the Romans, and they basically make their own wine. There's no way to have a machine. I mean, these Spanish are so nuts. There's no tractors or anything that can go through there, and if you make the wrong move, you fall off the cliff and you fall into the river. Maybe they're happy doing that, maybe they got better balance, I don't know. But I'm telling you that wine is an integral part of the passion for life as well as food. You need to have them both so that you feel alive. Octopus. If you've never had octopus, I mean, you don't know what you're missing. Drop that box of cereal, you gotta check out what octopus is like. Octopus, if it's really well made, comes from Galicia. And Galicia is in Spain. And I love to travel. And every year I go to Spain. And one of the things I do when I go there, the first thing when I get off the plane is I look for octopus. Now, octopus is a tricky thing. It's got all those tentacles and it's all slimy and it looks all weird. It's also very tough. What you gotta do with octopus is very simple. You gotta take it, you gotta get some rocks, And you gotta beat it like 100 times. Because if you don't beat it, it's real tough and your mouth gets all stuck up and then it's like you're eating mochi or something. You might die like those old people do in Japan every New Year. So you get the octopus and you beat it. And I got a good story about that because my buddy Diego, let me tell you what he did when he was a kid. Because he grew up in Galicia. Basically, his grandfather would catch the octopus with him in the morning and they'd say, Diego, now we leave the job to you. You beat the octopus on the rocks and you bring it over at home. We're gonna play some cards and then maybe we'll cook it. So what does Diego do? You know, he figures I'm a kid, I'm bored, I'm lazy, I don't want to beat this. I'm going to give him like 3 hits to the head. That's it. Because I'm tired, I want to go screw out, I want to go to the beach. So he brings all this octopus home. They cook the octopus. The family's sitting there. They're eating. That first bite, you hear like a crunch. And they all turn their head. They're like, whoa. And Diego's like, oh my God, I'm dead. And he runs for the hills. And because he's a skinny bastard, the guy runs like for 2 hours. They can't catch him. But he'll never do that again. At any rate, Diego, I knew, was the only chef in New York outside of Spain who could make this octopus. And boy, was it unbelievable. I'm a smuggler. Don't get this on film because I don't want anybody to know. I don't want the IRS to know. I don't want the government to know. But I smuggle ham. Every time I go to Spain, I try to stick one of those big legs in my bag and I throw some like bad underwear and some cigars and like throw other bones just so that they don't pinch my ham. And let me tell you, sometimes I got through and sometimes I didn't. One time I brought a little piece and I said, you know what? I'm gonna hope to get through with it. And I didn't. They opened the bag, they caught me, they got me red-handed, they got my ham, and they said, we're gonna take this. And I said, no, you're not! And I whipped open the bag in front of them and I just started eating like crazy. And then 5 minutes later, I ate the whole ham and I was so happy and I had the best stomachache in the world. It didn't matter because they didn't get my ham. And this is how passionate I am about ham, and that's why my business is called Pata Negra, Ham and Tapas Bar. Come on down and have sangria anytime when you're in New York, you come see me. I'm Chef Mateo, and let me tell you why I'm the right person for this job. Check it. I'm the only person for this job. It's because of what I believe. My life philosophy is you've got to die with the last piece of something delicious in your mouth. You got to be able to take that piece of food, you got to put it in your mouth, you got to feel it, you got to let your mind explode, you got to let your body scintillate, and then you raise your hands up to the sky like my grandmother does and you say, Umet Promwe, which means you can take me now. Some people want to die while they're having sex. Some people want to die while they're jumping off a cliff. Some people want to die because they're loaded on drugs. My drug is food. And if I can die with the best food, the most exotic, most difficult to get food, and put it in my mouth, and at that moment, that's when he decides to take me, I'm a happy man. My tagline is, Umet Promwe, which means, you can take me now. Chef Mateo here. I'm about to eat this delicious roast beef sandwich. But I look at food very differently than other people. Some people just eat their food, they don't really think much about it. I look at things scientifically, holistically. Every time I eat something, I'm trying to figure out where it came from, how it was made, who was the chef. And I do this with everything that I eat all the time. We've got a roast beef sandwich here. And what you see is a roast beef sandwich. But what I see is, where did the bread come from? Did it come from a good bakery? Where was this lettuce picked? What kind of roast beef this is? I'm very excited right now because this roast beef is made from Kobe beef. And those are the cattle from Japan that get massaged and have a tremendous amount of fat. That means the fat means flavor. I'm very, very excited. When I grow up, I hope to be a Kobe beef cattle so somebody massage me just like this roast beef. There's some other trimmings in here and we'll find out what they are when I get into it. Initially, the feeling is fantastic. I'm getting a good injection of fat in my bloodstream. I'm getting a good beef attack. The iron is filling my blood. I'm really understanding why they use Kobe beef in this sandwich and how it actually improved on a regular roast beef sandwich. You know, my philosophy is very quite simple. Always be ready to eat, no matter what, because you never know when good food is going to come your way. And also, you know, I'm not a person who eats to live. I'm a person who lives to eat. And this is the type of experience that I'm always looking for. And that's what I hope to be doing on this cooking show.